Hi, my name's John McCague. I'm a licensed real estate representative with Lepage RCR in Alliston. I've been licensed since 2000. I'm preparing a series of short videos on topics related to real estate. I get asked from time to time questions about real estate, and I've taken the most common questions and I'm putting videos together with answers to those questions. So the topic today that we're going to be dealing with is condos and land leases. So condos are far more common in the GTA, in the Toronto area, as are land leases. However, they're becoming more common, especially in the Alliston area. We have several condo and land lease developments in the Alliston area. And the very first question you need to know is it right for you? So you need to determine for yourself, not because of budget, but because of lifestyle. Would you enjoy living in a condo or on a land lease? You have to recognize that there are restrictions to those types of properties, such as building, the use of the land, and requiring approvals. So they are controlled. There is a management company that looks after the condos and land lease. You do have to follow the rules of those management companies. What are those rules? Well, in a lot of instances, it has to do with what the property can be used for, or what you can do on the outside, specifically on the outside of the property. As far as renovations go, you have to get approval for, if you were putting an awning over your back deck, or if you wanted to widen your driveway, or if you wanted to put in more flower beds, things like that. What it does, it's actually a really good thing, because it prevents anybody from doing anything to the outside of the property that would affect the value of the other properties in the area. You just want to make sure that everybody's following the same rules, especially because condos, you're in a fairly confined space. But condos can be a high rise, they can be a low rise, they can be a freestanding building, they can be a semi, they can be a townhouse. There's all kinds of condos, so it depends what type of condo you're talking about. We have all those types in Alliston, so again, it's on a case-by-case basis. Land leases, on the other hand, is where you actually own the building, but the building doesn't belong to the land. You're actually just paying for the privilege to be able to park your building on that property. And what happens is that if the owner of that development decides that they no longer want your building or other buildings on the property, they have the right to ask you to vacate the property, and you have to take your building with you. Land leases can be very expensive, because what you're paying for is you're paying for the privilege of using that land. Whereas condos, you're buying the house and you own the house, you own the bricks and mortar, and you actually own a portion of the condominium itself. There are maintenance fees incurred in both condos and land leases, and what you need to know is what's covered in those maintenance fees. And dealing with a real estate agent, that real estate agent can go over what is covered and what isn't covered. For example, it could be building insurance, it could be water, it could be the common elements, which are all the lands around the condos. So you need to know, and also it could be like a fitness club, anything like that. So you need to know where that money is being applied, what it's actually covering. When you're purchasing a property, a condo, you'll ask for what's called a status certificate. And a status certificate is prepared and issued by the seller or the management company that's representing the condo, and it will form part of an offer. You'll have that status certificate reviewed by your lawyer, and what they check is they check the reserve fund. They want to make sure that there's money held in that reserve fund for any major repairs that are required within that phase. So it could be an example where roofs need to be replaced, or it could be where street lighting needs to be replaced, anything like that. It also talks about the legal status. So are there any legal issues, any lawsuits or anything like that? Because you are actually buying into the condo, so you actually become almost like a shareholder in that condominium, so you can actually be affected by any legal issues that should arise against that phase. Any outstanding work orders, so a house that you're looking at, there may be work orders on it. So say somebody decided that they wanted to change the lighting, exterior lighting, but they didn't get approval from the condominium corporation. There may be a work order from the condominium corporation stating that those lights have to be changed, or they have to be put back to the original lighting that was there before, and that will hold up a purchase. That all has to be done prior to somebody acquiring the property. The original owner has to take care of that before the transaction finalizes. Land leases, they may seem less expensive, but they actually have a higher maintenance cost. You own the building, but as I say, the landlord owns the property, and they may not extend the land lease. So that's certainly a downside. Why are land leases as popular as they are? It's because of affordability, because purchasing the building is usually very inexpensive. You can get, in this area, land lease, you can go as low as $25,000, and you can go as high as $250,000. Whereas condos, you're probably more looking at the 250 and up. So there is that difference. There are trade-offs. There are definite differences between the two, as I just mentioned. So you have to decide whether a condominium or a land lease are ideal for you. There are certainly benefits to condos. Peace of mind, for one thing, is that if you don't want to have to take care of your property, if you don't want to have to cut the grass or do the landscaping, or you don't want to have to hire trades to come in to look after your roof, for example, that's all being done by the condominium corporation, and that's where your money goes as far as your maintenance fee. Part of your maintenance fee goes towards that. So if you like to travel a lot, I know a lot of snowbirds like condominiums because they can walk out of the house, close the door, lock the house up, and not worry about it, and come back 6 months later, and the exterior of the house has all been taken care of. And as long as, for insurance purposes, as long as you're having somebody go in on a regular basis to check to make sure that everything is fine inside the house, then that's all you have to worry about. Whereas if it's a private house, you have to make sure that the snow is shoveled, and you have to make sure that the grass is cut, the flowers are watered, all those things. So the maintenance on a private residence versus a condominium is usually higher. So hopefully you find that helpful. Those are just a couple of the items. That's just a very rough overview of condominiums and land leases. If you have specific questions regarding condominiums or land leases, feel free to give me a call. I'd certainly appreciate hearing from you. I love talking about real estate. I love talking about the area that I sell real estate in. And I love meeting new people. So feel free to give me a call. My Toronto line 1-866-772-5368. My local line 705-435-3000. My cell is 705-791-2221. And my office is located at 7 Victoria Street West in Alliston. It's Roy Lepage RCR. And my name is John McCague. Thanks very much for your time. I certainly appreciate it, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.